about that. My name is Marci, Paula. It's a pleasure to be here. So I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I get the feeling that everyone else is cooler than me. Like this one time, this guy was telling me about how he had a different social obligation every night of the week. And except for Wednesday, because that was his date night. And I was like, that's interesting. You call your free night a date night. I call my free night sitting at home by myself watching Golden Girls. I grew up in the state of California, so I don't smoke, mostly because our great state has worked hard to ostracize the people who do. We have banned smoking inside most public places, and we're starting to limit where people can smoke outside as well. For example, you're no longer allowed to smoke on the Hermosa Pier. And if this trend continues, you can expect the entire smoking section of Hermosa Beach to be limited to a 3x3 foot box in the far off corner, probably the corner next to Redondo by the power plant. And I know what some of you non-smokers are thinking, that's a great idea, make them smoke in a box. But this is actually a bad idea because forcing smokers to be confined to such a small area will make them have a meet and greet every time they want to smoke when they may have never met before. This will lead to them forming a community and rising up against us non-smokers. They're going to call their community the Confederate Smoking Box of Hermosa, start a civil war, and soon become their own sovereign nation within the city of Hermosa Beach, kind of like the Vatican within Rome. And even if I started smoking, I would never be able to become a citizen in said community, mostly because I'm too cheap to share my cigarettes. Before I would leave the house, I would take only one cigarette out of the package and put it in my pocket. That way later on, when someone asked, hey, can I bum a smoke? I'd be like, sorry, I only have the one. Once the other smokers realized what I was doing, they would surely vote me out of the box, because naturally the Confederate Smoking Box of Hermosa would be run like a game of Survivor. And I know what you might be thinking, Marci, you look like such a nice person. You would never be so stingy with your cigarettes. But you're wrong. Back in junior high, I was known for bringing only one piece of bubble gum, which was the black market drug of junior high, to school so I didn't have to share with all the other girls. I mean, it was hard to get a pack of gum in those days. You had to save up your hard-earned babysitting money and convince your mom to let you bike down to the gas station. And once daylight savings ended, that move was pretty hard to do. Okay, so now I'm going to do some good idea, bad idea jokes. All right, good. Already some laughs. Okay, so good idea. After a long night of drinking, crash at your friend's house and walk home in the morning. Bad idea. After a long night of drinking, crash at your friend's house and walk home the morning after Halloween. I don't hear you laughing, which maybe that's because you don't understand. The night after Halloween, you'd be wearing your costume and you'd be walking home. Okay. All right. Next one. Good idea. Order a baked potato without the sour cream. Bad idea. Order a salmon steak without the salmon. Again, I don't hear you laughing, but that's okay, because maybe you don't know that my brother once did that when we were little. That was kind of an inside joke. But anyways, okay, next one. Good idea. Sign your daughter up for some ballet dance classes. Bad idea. Sign your daughter up for some exotic dance classes. Next one. Good idea. Go to a college party when you're in college. Bad idea. Go to a college party when you're 30. Good idea. Have a flip phone in the year 2004. Bad idea. Have a flip phone now. Side note on that, I actually have a flip phone. Contrary to what you may believe, this phone is only a few months old. You see, when my old phone broke, this was my cheapest option, and as I explained earlier, I'm incredibly cheap. But sometimes being cheap does have its price. For example, sometimes people text me, this is fine, until they want me to text them back. And it takes a very long time to text, but I only have 1 minute, so I won't demonstrate exactly how long it takes. And so every once in a while, some guy will be like, hey, let's have a flirty text conversation. And I'll be like, no, I don't have the phone for that. Except I don't want him to think I'm a loser. So I'll have to spend the better part of my day sending meaningless texts and winking faces. Because winking faces is one of my phone's 3 emoticon options. the other two being smiley faces and sad faces. I usually try to keep Flipper, that's what I call my phone, hidden in the depths of my purse because, you know, I don't want my friends to be jealous of my swag. But every once in a while, I do have to expose my phone to the public. This usually leads to someone ripping my phone out of my hand, flipping it open, and saying, 1996 call, they want their phone back. But my favorite was the time a 10-year-old asked me, is that what the first phone looked like? I'm Marci. Thank you and good night.